Welcome back. If you were watching my last video, you saw how the Maiden for the 4-star 40 went pretty good in general, but definitely some problems here. One of them being that the servos, for some reason, I think they're acting funny, but it could just be me. I went back to the footage and double checked that I actually had my antenna for my 72 megahertz radio extended. I did, so I didn't make that mistake, though I totally expect to sometime in the future. One good thing is that the engine was perfectly tuned by the time we were done. Didn't have a dead stick at least, but I only got it up for a short period of time before I had that problem. One thing I didn't realize at the field is that I accidentally put a couple of holes in my wing. These could be from when I put it back in my car at the end of the day, but I don't think they are. I think these are from hitting the grass. They're on the correct side of the plane that ended up in the grass, and they're not overly huge. Or just this one's maybe, you know, 1.5 to 2 inches, and this one is even smaller. This is barely an inch. So I'm not entirely sure. Guess what I'm learning to do today? I've got my irons out. I have to find the covering that I got with these planes that matches the red. I think it matches the red. And I'm gonna learn how to use vinyl covering today. First thing we're gonna have to do is make some room for the wing. I want it in a nice secure spot where it's easy to work on. So we're just gonna move things around in the shop, make it nice and easy and safe. Get this up here, right where I've got a lot of easy access to the 2 holes. I think that's for something else. This is the box we got with this package, so let's grab that. And what do we got for red? Okay, looks like we only have the 1 red roll. Oh, this fell out of the middle. So we have a smaller roll as well. Nice. That looks like a perfect match. We want to make sure that the surface has no oils, no dirt, as clean as possible. And then I will cut a small patch and we'll get that hopefully stuck on there. I do have a backup plan if we need it, but since we have the covering and the tools and it's just another skill to learn, I think it's time I learned it. Okay, I got some shop towels, got some low lint cotton towels, I got my covering. I'm gonna use denatured alcohol to clean it off. I've got some very, very sharp scissors, and I've also got a hobby knife and brand new blades. I hear this is a really important thing with this covering stuff, to have very, very, very sharp blades. I wanna start with the small hole first. That might actually be really hard to see on camera. So let me just give you an idea. It starts up here and it ends down here. So it's a little bigger than I thought it was, maybe an inch, 1.25 inches. So let's go ahead and take our knife. And the tip of this is actually gone. So it's a good thing that I'm gonna be replacing that with a brand new one. All right, see, I want to cut around here. From what I understand, I don't want any sharp corners. I'm gonna start with this one because it's right up against a wooden rib. And I feel like that might help me a little bit here. I don't want any sharp corners, so I'm just trying to come around this corner in a little bit of a circle. A little radius action. I'm gonna do the same on the top and just come around in a bit of a radius. Pop that up so I can hold on to it, and we're just gonna kind of cut down like so. And I think I'm gonna finish the radius from the bottom like that. There we go. And I think this is what everybody online meant when they were saying not to leave any corners, just make sure everything is rounded. Less chance, I think, of it splitting. As always, if I'm doing something weird or wrong, or you think I could use a tip or two, drop it in the comments below. I read pretty much every comment that's down there. Even if I don't respond to it, I always thumbs up or like them. But the comments that you guys have been making have really been motivating me to do a lot more of this. I'm having fun, and I'm glad everybody's having fun watching me. And I'm learning a lot doing it, and I'm getting information from you guys and from Google and from ChatGPT and everything I can search. So again, if I'm doing something weird, I don't know, you know, give me a comment, tell me about it. It's probably something weird that I heard from a forum or from one of my friends, and everybody has different ways of doing things, and I like to try them all. So definitely give me some things to try. Now that we've got this cut out, I'm gonna clean around here. I can see, it might not be that visible on the camera. There we go. You can see all the smudging and the oils on there, probably from my hand and from the nitro fuel. So we're gonna use that denatured alcohol and try to get rid of that. Just take one of these cotton towels. They tear really easily, but I don't need that big of a piece. They'll only tear in one direction very easily. The other side, the other way, you kinda gotta cut it. And just wad that up a little bit. I don't think it's gonna take a lot of effort to do this. I really just need to get some of this denatured alcohol on my towel, like so. And then see if we can't get all that gunk off of there. This is the first time I'm doing this, so I don't know how big of an area I really need to make sure it's clean. You can tell there is definitely some oils and dirt and grime coming off of there. Just making sure I have a really big area clean here. I feel like I'm sterilizing the wound before I perform surgery. Okay, I think that's good. Now I wanted to see, is this even connected to the rib? It's really not. It is down here, and it is further up here. But basically right here, it's disconnected from the rib. I'm gonna get out my iron and we're gonna play around with this and see if I can't find the right temperature to get this stuck down on there. This is the iron that was in the kit that I just bought with these 3 planes. It's fairly clean. It does not have a sock, but I hear a lot of people will use these without the socks. You just have to be a little more careful with the temperature. So we're gonna go ahead and start at maybe a 1 and move up from there. It also came with this little metal thing, which if I'm not mistaken is a little holder for the iron so that when it's hot, you don't set your table or something on fire. Imagine that's what it's for. That's very reminiscent of a soldering iron and what they come with. So that's what I'm gonna use it for. And this is the Top Flight glove. It's some kind of a heat glove. I'm probably not gonna need it for this repair, but I think the idea is that while you're heating, you can use this to kind of smooth things down with your hand and not burn the hell out of your hand. I'm gonna prep my work surface here. We'll plug in the iron, then I'll put this and a little stand down next to me to the right side out of my area so I don't bump that. Next, we're gonna take this covering. I'm just gonna cut a little chunk off of here. I'm gonna go over a little bit. I can always cut it smaller, I can't cut it bigger. So we're gonna go about there and then up. I usually watch videos when I do a new thing, and I did this time too. The video showed that you have to remove the backing, so I will remove the backing. And then from what I gather, oh wait. I need to cut these corners. So right now they're too straight and I need to give a radius to them, right? This one can be a bit bigger because it's gonna be way over the side. And then we're gonna need a radius on the bottom and over to this corner as well. That's pretty big. I think that'll be all right though, right? So I'm gonna set this aside because the first thing I think I wanna do is try to get this stuck better on this rib in here. It feels kind of warm. Let's see if we're getting any heat out of there that'll stick that down. Wow, that was easy. Huh. Well, I thought that was gonna be way harder than that. That's on a pretty low setting. Let's go even lower, huh? I'm just gonna make sure that all the ribs and the cross members seem fairly well connected here, huh? I guess I could have cut out a square here and just replaced the whole square, but we're gonna go like this for now. I think I am scuffing the surface. Maybe that's one of the things the sock is meant to stop. go ahead and put him on here. And I don't know, I guess just kind of playing this as I go here. I'm gonna tack down a corner and see how much the effort that takes. Really? Is this really this simple? I was afraid of this. Let's tack down this corner. Holy cow. And that's just on low. Guys, is this really this easy? Holy cow. Why is everybody afraid of this? What am I missing here? No. Are you kidding me? This is still on low. Okay, so I can see some wrinkles, and it's where the covering goes over the covering. And I did see on a video that that's a thing that might happen. I'm not too concerned. This is the first time I'm doing this, so if it doesn't turn out perfect, I'm okay with that. I just don't want to lose this plane. This is a really cool plane. Okay, so I don't really think I need any more than that, but I mean, just for fun's sake, I'm gonna see if maybe I can get some of those little bubbles out. There's one right there. Just gonna put the smallest little prick in there. Let's put the smallest little hole in there. Put one there, and there. And then we'll see if we can just iron those out now. A little better. Okay, I am impressed with that. I can't even see it on the camera. My patch is right here. You can kind of see the edge. Can you see the edge on the camera? I don't know if you can. There's the patch right there. I'll be able to tell later when I'm doing the editing for this. Wow, I'm really happy. That turned out super quick, super easy, and not very difficult at all, really. Okay, so I guess let's go to the next one, huh? This one's a lot more obvious and maybe a little bigger. Let's just do the same thing. Now up here is one of the stretchers. I think only these ones are called ribs, right? I think these are called something else. Stringers? Stretchers? Tell me below. I can't remember what these are called. But we're gonna go ahead and cut out this hole. It looks like it kind of goes up onto the wood, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut up onto the wood as well. There we go. And then we're gonna do our radius. Coming around. Do a radius up this way, up onto the wood. And across, like so. Okay. And grab a hold here. We're gonna continue our little circle-ish thing down here. That's a much bigger hole, but honestly, the patch I put on the last one probably was big enough to fit this one. I don't think that's too aggressive, do you? How's that look? This actually looks like nope, it's not attached. So I'm gonna make sure this is attached first. It's weird, I can see the covering kind of change color as it gets hotter. Does it stay that color? No, it looks like it gets somewhat darker, a little translucent, and then it goes back to regular. Okay. I was gonna start cutting my patch, but I need to clean this off first. I forgot about that. After doing the one over there, I realized I don't really have to clean a giant patch, really just around the hole. Definitely some gunk coming off of there. Make sure we get all of our bases covered here. Are you guys this meticulous when you do this? Like, am I overcompensating? Am I doing way more than I really need to? I guess doing more is better, right? That one's a little bigger, so we're gonna have to come a little further out for that one. And then I need at least, we'll say like this much. And then we'll cut that out. There we go. Oh, he has even more in here. Oh no, that would have been perfect. Oh, blast it. Oh well. I'll know for next time, right? Maybe we can actually cut it down closer to the size of the hole for this one, huh? Take off the backing. It's just kind of slipping off. I don't know if that's because it's old or if that's how it works. That's actually not too much bigger than the hole. I think I'm just gonna leave that same size. Just wanna make sure I cover everything properly. I'm gonna start at the top this time. Right there. Like so. That's crazy to me. I thought this was gonna be so much harder than this. All right, well let's tag the bottom first. So it kind of stops moving around on me, and then I'll just do a little of this. And a little the other way. Getting a little wrinkly here, but we could probably iron those out. Come on, go away, wrinkles. You can see the wrinkles that I'm working on here, I think. Just seeing if I can get those to come out. That one's gone, good. If I can't get that on there tighter here in a minute. Maybe get out the hot air gun and try it. I haven't done it yet. Let's see what 2 gets us. I mean, what's the worst case? I mess it up, I can cut out a bigger hole and replace it. That'll be okay. Still have wrinkles in here, and I think it's just because when I put this in, it kind of pushes down and almost stretches it a little bit. So I'm thinking if I get out the hot air gun, maybe I can stretch that properly with some heat without adding more wrinkles to it. Here's the hot air gun I got. I got the little nozzle. I think that'll help me direct it straight at the area that's affected. Actually, since that's cooled down, it's not so bad. These 2, everything else is lower note than this, so I still think I need to stretch this a little bit, but it also could be because I have basically 2 layers on a lot of that too. Either way, let's try this and see if we can't get it a little tighter. I just found another little hole down here too, so we're gonna have to take care of that. Okay, on heat level 1, it's really not producing a lot, and I'm not really getting any stretch or anything, so we're gonna go to level 2. Honestly, level 2 seems like it's making more wrinkles, so I don't know what's going on there. Maybe it'll tighten up once it cools down. Actually, I think that did tighten up a little more. It's still really wavy down here. I guess when I go back and look at the video, I'll be able to tell, but this up here seems better. So let's go ahead and heat up this bottom part and see if we can't get it to stretch more. All right, that's not so bad. I think we're gonna stop with that, and maybe I can get some comments of better ways to do this to see if I can get rid of these little wrinkles there. I mean, not really a wrinkle, just a ripple. Might be okay. While we're at it, I feel like I should patch this tiny hole, and if I see any other tiny holes, I think there's one there too, I should probably patch that too. Got them all tacked on. Now I should be able to iron them straight up in. Just like that. Now, out of curiosity, I pumped this up to high. Just want to see what this does, and if it ruins a spot, I should just be able to cut it out and fix it. Just want to see if it makes this any tighter. Actually, yeah, I think it did make it a little tighter. So high might be okay. I was a little worried to use high. I'm still gonna be a little hesitant to use it, but what do you guys think? Big hole there is patched. The other hole over, I can't even see it. Hold on. There it is. That's patched. And then 3 little holes are patched. It might be hard to see it on the camera, but there are scrapes right here, here, and over here. And I'm willing to bet that that's from when it hit the long grass at the field. So I didn't pack it wrong. It just got punctured by some of the long grass. Either way, I'm really happy with how this turned out, and that was far simpler than I'd have ever imagined. You know, I stalled out on my kit build for the SIG something extra because I got to the point where I was ready to put on the, what is this called? That's not Monokote. This is Monokote, but that's not Monokote. Covering. You know, I stalled out on the SIG something extra because I got to the point where I was ready to start putting on covering, and I got really nervous about it and thought I should test it a few times first. So I have an extra wing that I found in a kit that I bought that was already pre-assembled, and half of the rest of the parts are gone. So it's really a great thing to practice on, but I never got around to it. Which in retrospect is very silly because this is way simpler than I thought it would be. Is it perfect? No, this patch job is not perfect, but it is patched and there's no holes, and it's good enough that I'm happy with it. I don't know what I can do about possibly testing the servos to see if they're having issues, or testing the transmitter to see if it's having issues. As far as that weird servo issue, maybe that's me. Maybe this plane is just shaped in a way that drops a wing if I bring it in a certain way. Not really sure. I don't love the idea of taking it back up without having tested them, but testing them in the shop, I haven't really found anything wrong with them. The way I range tested is what I was told to do for 72 megahertz, which is you leave the antenna down, you turn on the plane, you turn on the transmitter. I had one of my friends stand near the plane. I walked about 400 or 500 feet away from it the whole time toggling my sticks, and everything seemed fine. I'm not really sure what was wrong there. I hope it doesn't happen again. This is a really nice plane. I have the yellow 4-star 40, so if it would happen again, I'd have that to fall back on, but that's not really a thing I want to say. I don't want to wreck this nice red 4-star 40. It's got a nicer engine than the yellow one, but if I don't know how to test it, I don't know what else to do. So if you have an idea of how I should test that, please drop it below. It'd really help out. I need some confidence before I fly this, and right now I don't have an awful lot of that. If you have any insight into this, let me know. Just drop it in the comments. And while you're there, like, subscribe, hit the bell notification icon. I'm gonna continue this series until we're all sick of it. But right now, I'm having an awful lot of fun. I can't wait to get this back out to the field. It's very cold now. It's below freezing most days. The wind is off and on. So today, for example, couldn't fly a lick. Yesterday, we flew for several hours, but it was also below 0 for the majority of the day. So if the video schedule slows down for a few weeks, I'll have more content as I get further in these projects. And if a few weeks go by and I don't have a chance to get to the field, I have a lot of shop work to do. That yellow 4-star 40 is just begging to have the servos of the receiver installed and its engine tuned. I can do all that here in the shop and then run the engine outside and tune it up. So again, if you like these kind of videos, let me know. A like and a comment are great. Subscribe if you haven't already. And if I haven't said it enough, thank you. Everything you guys are telling me on RC groups and all the other forums and stuff, Reddit, Facebook, and everything else, it's immensely helpful. And it's really helping me learn how to deal with these balsa planes. It's a whole different world than foam planes. If I don't see you before then, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah. I appreciate every one of you, and I'll see you next time.